I'm looking for my family. We went different ways, but we share the same heart. If you were born between 23 and 27 July 1974 at IMSS Clinic 220 and you're a male, you're probably living with a family that isn't yours. We were switched at birth. In 2014, after being diagnosed with a serious heart condition and being told he might not survive the complications, 40-year-old Jose Francisco Hernandez decided to call his mother to get a DNA test done with him. Jose had always had doubts about his biological family. His mother used to tell stories about the nurse at the 220 IMSS clinic having some sort of complication with the identification wristbands on the babies. This always made Jose question why he didn't look at all like his parents or four siblings. Results from 2 DNA tests confirmed that the family he had been living with for the past 40 years was not his biological family. The IMSS hospital and state institutions refused to give Jose any answers. While investigating the civil registry, he found approximately 300 people who were born in Toluca between July 23 and 27, 1974, or around that time. His friends encouraged him to start a campaign with the slogan, "I'm looking for my family. We went different ways, but we share the same heart." The goal of the campaign was to locate people born between July 23 and 27, 1974, who, like him, had doubts about their families or origins. The campaign used ads on social media, posters on posts, fences, and public transport units to spread the word. 8 days after the campaign began, more than 2 people called the phone number on the posters, expressing doubts about being raised by the wrong family due to an error at the health clinic. However, the IMSS denies that Clinic 220 was open at the time. Jose insists that he was born in the clinic. He also clarified that his intention is not to start a legal process against the institution, even though it would be easy to prove its negligence. His primary goal is to reunite with his biological family. It's unclear whether Jose was ever reunited with his biological family, since the campaign's final social media post was in 2015. This poster was found along Bowen Road in Hong Kong, a popular route among joggers and dog walkers for its scenic views. Many other posters and signs are lined along Bowen Road, warning dog walkers about dog poisoning. From 1989 to 2009, there were 72 recorded cases of dog poisoning on the road, 22 of which resulted in deaths. However, the actual number is likely much higher, as many cases go unreported. The poisoning is carried out using meat, typically chicken or pork, laced with commonly available pesticides. These toxins can cause vomiting, diarrhea, convulsions, breathing difficulties, and in some cases death. Despite the ongoing incidents, officials have not yet caught the person responsible. The only solid lead came in 1995, when Jonathan Mitchell was walking his dog Ruth along the trail. Mitchell encountered a man who appeared to be feeding the dogs. Immediately suspicious, Mitchell confronted the man. After a brief conversation, the man quickly left. A minute or so after the man walked off, Ruth began to vomit and tremble. Mitchell reported the incident to the police, but they were unable to find the man. The case wasn't made public until 1997, when Hong Kong's last governor, Chris Patten, nearly lost his dog after it consumed chicken laced with poison. This incident brought the issue to public attention and prompted more serious action. The Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals in Hong Kong have advised residents to keep their dogs on a leash and to be cautious about allowing their dogs to sniff or eat anything in the area. Warnings and greater surveillance of the area have reduced the frequency of poisonings, but they have not stopped. This flyer, passed around Johannesburg, South Africa, advertises Dr. Uba's clinic, which claims to offer money in exchange for body parts and organs. South African police were reportedly trying to track down Dr. Uba, and the health department also issued a statement of concern. The flyers included a website, which featured photos of the supposed procedure advertised on the flyer. However, the whole thing turned out to be a hoax. The flyers were actually part of an advertisement campaign for the South African thriller movie Night Drive. The stunt was widely criticized, since there have been allegations of an organ harvesting syndicate operating in the East Rand. The advertising agency responsible for the campaign admitted that this was in bad taste, issued an apology, and stated that disciplinary action would be taken internally to address the problem. On June 26, 2016, the partially skeletonized remains of a woman were discovered along a riverbed near the Arakawa River in Higashitsuna, Koto Ward, Tokyo, Japan. The woman was estimated to be in her 20s to 40s, around 5'5", and was wearing a red striped sweater and black pants. Since the cause of her death is unknown, and there were no strong clues leading to her identity, the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department created a facial reconstruction of the woman's face and made a poster seeking any information from the public regarding the case. These posters were distributed and displayed at train stations and commercial facilities. However, nearly 9 years later, there have been no significant leads in the case. Another similarly uncanny poster is this one. On April 26, 2015 in Tokyo, Japan, an employee found a yellow suitcase in an unlocked coin locker at Tokyo Station, near the Marunouchi ticket gate exit. Since the coin locker was unlocked, the worker decided to move the suitcase to the temporary storage area to be claimed later. The suitcase remained in storage for a month. When no one had come to reclaim it, the station staff decided to open the suitcase to see if they could find any identification, which could lead them to the owner. Instead, they were greeted with a foul odor and discovered the body of an elderly woman inside, which was heavily decomposed. The police were called and began their investigation. The woman was approximately 4'7" and appeared to be between 70 and 80 years old. She was missing most of her teeth, though she had several false teeth that were estimated to have been used in the last 10 years of her life. Other identifying features included a 0.19-inch bulge on her forehead and gray, shoulder-length hair. She was wearing a beige button cardigan and had in her possession a black earphone and a promotional towel, which was given out to customers at a pachinko arcade operating in Saitama Prefecture near Tokyo. An autopsy conducted on June 1st found no signs of external wounds, and it was concluded that there was no foul play. Police then searched the locker where the suitcase had originally been found, but found no clues. They shifted their focus to the yellow suitcase itself. The suitcase was dirty and visibly aged, leading them to believe it hadn't been purchased for the sole purpose of hiding the woman. The only contents inside were the woman and her belongings. The police questioned station staff, including those who patrolled the area where the suitcase was found. They stated that the locker had been empty until the suitcase's discovery. This meant that the suitcase had likely been there for no more than an hour before being found on April 26th. CCTV footage from the station was of no help either, since the woman was discovered a month after the suitcase was deposited, so any footage at the time would have been lost and taped over. Considering the blanket the woman had been carrying, police conducted a survey among customers, staff, and owners at pachinko arcades in the Saitama Prefecture, but no one recognized her. Based on her age, police also looked into reports of missing pensioners along the Tokyo-Saitama rail line, but found no matches. Police even showed various dentists in Saitama the woman's false teeth, but none could help identify her. In October 2015, a facial reconstruction of the woman's face was created. On April 26, 2016, the police distributed flyers to the general public containing information about the case and requesting help in identifying her. The police have stated that their main theory is that this was a corpse abandonment case, likely due to the inability to pay for funeral costs. They believe the person who left the suitcase hoped it would be found. To date, the case remains unsolved. It's been 53 years. Clearer conscience. Pam Hobley, Patty Spencer. On October 31st, 1969, 16-year-old Patricia Spencer and 15-year-old Pamela Hobley went missing in Oscoda, Michigan. The girls had decided to skip the rest of their classes before heading to the school's homecoming game and a Halloween party. However, when Pamela's sister Mary and her mother returned home from trick-or-treating and found that Pamela had not yet returned, they began to worry. According to Pam's boyfriend, she had not arrived at the party either. Pam's mother then decided to call other parents, and that's when she learned that Patty hadn't arrived at the party either. On November 1st, the day after their disappearance, police searched Pam's house, and then searched the forest and other places they believed to be party locations, but there was no sign of the girls. In the first week of the investigation, police believed the girls may have run away with the intent to travel to Flint, Michigan. However, they reconsidered the theory after weeks had passed, without any contact from the girls. The pair were last seen walking down River Road and hadn't been carrying any identification at the time of their disappearance. Over the years, there have been occasional leads, tips, and rumors, but none have led to any answers. Despite all the different rumors, Pam's sister Mary believes she was murdered. After more than 50 years, Mary and her husband still make occasional trips to Oscoda, hanging flyers around town, in the hopes that one day, a break in the case will finally come.